I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be, how often should you call women when you're dating them, or especially like if you're having a long distance relationship? Where's the balance between calling too much and not calling enough, which makes them feel like you don't care about them at all, which is also not helpful to your relationship? So I have an email here from a viewer, and he says, "Hello, Mr. Wayne. I'm in an unfamiliar situation with my long-distance girlfriend right now. I have been with this girl for 1 year, and I moved out to go away to college. And the issue right now is her lowered level of interest because she thinks that I don't care about her. She told me that after like a week, when I noticed that she wasn't contacting me, where weeks prior she was blowing up my phone like 2 to 3 times a day. I found that out after I told her what's wrong, and I applied your method of not going away until she tells me." And so he was talking about the communication skills from my book, where she's obviously acting cold and distant, something's wrong, and you say, "Well, what's wrong, honey?" "Oh, nothing's wrong." So when a girl says nothing's wrong, you're like, okay, whatever. And then you go back about your life and she gets pissed off at you. It's because if you really cared, then you'd want to know what was wrong. That's the way a lot of women are. So you're like, okay, well, what's up? Why? It was like, come on, just tell me. And you always want to, it's like 90%, the thing you got to remember is 90% of the time when you're talking to your girl, you're the charming James Bond. And 10% of the time you're like the bad boy who does things that are a little outrageous, a little over the top, the kind of things that makes her go, "Oh my God, I can't believe he said that. Did you just say that? Oh my God." And it's like you take things a little further, like with sexual innuendo, or you push the boundaries. But 90% of the time, you're the charming James Bond. You're never going to be an asshole or a cold, emotionless dick to her, because that's going to cause her to shut down to you emotionally. Because it's different. When you're in a relationship with a girl, you just can't be that way. Because what happens is that when she falls in love with you, she's open to you emotionally. But if you start hurting her because she's in love with you, she has really strong feelings for you, and you do things that hurt her and cause her to feel like every time she's around you, she gets hurt emotionally, then what happens is she's going to shut down to you, and she's going to back away from the relationship. Because basically every time she's with you, you're doing or saying something to hurt her feelings or upset her emotionally, and basically make her feel like you don't care about her. So it's like guys, a lot of guys will learn pickup skills, or they'll learn some dating skills because they want to pick up girls and get laid, but they think, "Oh, I don't need this relationship shit, it's not important." And then they get themselves into a relationship, and then they don't know how to handle themselves or how to communicate with a girl in a mature, loving adult manner. And so that's where they start fumbling the football, so to speak. And so everything's great, and then all of a sudden, then it starts kind of going sideways. Because it's like like whether it's pickup skills, dating skills, relationship skills, each one of them has a different skill set and needs to be applied at a different time based upon how she feels about you emotionally and what stage of the relationship you are. Because the other thing is that when you're in a relationship with a girl, it's like the courtship never ends. You're always going to be romancing her and sweeping her off her feet. Because women want to be in a love story. And the idea is that you want to keep them in the fun, charming love story and lifestyle that you have, but you got to always be cognizant of how much texting, calling, chasing, and pursuing that they're doing towards you, because it's going to fluctuate based upon how you're showing up. The more you can be mysterious and charming, and where she reaches out to you and she calls you and texts you just to say, "Hey, I was thinking about you, I can't wait to see you again." You're like, "Oh, baby, that's really sweet, it's great to hear from you. I'd really love to talk to you, but I got a meeting I got to head into. But I adore you, I love you, and call me later. I'll be home like later tonight." And she's like, "Okay." And then so you go about your business, and you go into your meeting or whatever, and then nighttime rolls around, and then she calls you. Because she loves you, because she feels comfortable, because she feels safe, and so she wanted to talk to you, but you were busy, you were taking care of shit, because you're a man, you're taking care of your purpose, and that's what all guys should be doing. But if she wants to talk to you more, it's like you're not calling her, you're not reaching out, you're just like, "Hey, call me later." And it's like either way, it doesn't matter. Sometimes she'll call, but sometimes she won't. It just depends on how she feels towards you, and her interest fluctuates based on how you are. But you can't ever let it bother you, because as a man, you're always focused on your purpose in life. It's like you get to her when you've got time. And then so she might not call you later, but she calls you the next morning. And every time she calls, you're like, hey, baby, how are you? And you're just receptive and loving and charming. And 10% of the time you say things that are a little bit naughty. You're like, yeah, I was thinking about you when I was in the shower this morning, and I was missing your naked body, and I can't wait to see you again, or I can't wait until you come to see me again, and you can be naked in there with me. And you say things like, you're like, oh, baby, that's sweet. And it's because it's like you have your little language, and it's like you always want to maintain that stuff when your girl is away, but it's not. You don't want to be a dick to her. You don't want to be a jerk. Because you get to the point where she opens up to you, and then you start being an asshole to her, and then she's just going to shut down to you and feel like you don't care about her. So he says, after she was blowing up his phone 2 to 3 times a day, now it seems like she's not doing that. He says, I found out that after I told her what's wrong and I applied your method of not going away until she tells me, she told me that she felt like I didn't care about her. So that was a week ago, and now even though I'm making all the contacting, like once every 2 days I contact her, she still wouldn't come back to contacting me first. Yeah, because she's still obviously shut down to you emotionally. But now that you're doing all of the work, you've basically become the woman in the relationship. And remember, women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear. And so it doesn't mean you're a dick or you're cold or you act like you don't care about her. It just means that you take measured steps. And really, you only need to be, you're long distance. You call her once a week. And that's it. And the more she feels comfortable and she starts thinking about you and wondering about you, that's when she reaches out and goes, hey, baby, I hadn't heard from you. I wanted to let you know I was thinking about you, or I was going to go to bed soon, and I just wanted to say goodnight. That's typically what happens, but you've been a jerk to this girl, and so that's why she shut down to you emotionally. He says, if I wait for a long while, then she might think that I don't care. I'm doing all the contacting now, but I don't know what to do to make her interest come back up. It's not the first time. Well, the thing is that call her once a week and just make sure she does 78% of the talking, and then you just do the asking all the questions. And you get her to warm up. And what about this? What about that? Oh, really? Wow. Really? Tell me more. Don't leave anything out. And when she gets to the point where she goes, oh, I feel so much better. I'm so glad we talked, baby. It's so good to hear your voice. She'll be sweet to you again. But until you get to that place, she may want to talk about something that's upsetting her. If she's distant or she's cold, just say, well, you sound a little cold and a little distant. What's up, sweetheart? You don't sound like yourself. What's going on? Talk to me. Oh, there's nothing wrong. Oh, come on, tell me. Talk to me. And get her to open up. Get her to talk and just listen without being judgmental. Don't try to solve her problem. Don't try to fix anything. Just listen. And I would, if I were you, I'd go back and review the stuff that I talk about in my book, relationship-wise, communication-wise, because there's something somewhere in your communication part where you're going wrong with your girl. And she's telling you herself, you make her feel like you don't care about her. And so instead of being cocky, charming, and playful, you're probably a jerk to her on the phone, and you're cold, and you're distant, and you act like you don't care. And that's probably part of the problem. But chasing her and doing all the pursuing is not the solution either. So for all the things that I talked about, go back and review the stuff in my book about relationships. So if you have a question you want to ask me, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab, which will be on the left-hand side of your screen, and send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max, and just give me several days to get back to you with a response. If you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. You can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab, which will be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. If you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook on my website, underneath the email sign-up box, there's a box that has a link that'll take you right to the Amazon Kindle download page. Once you get there, if you don't have a Kindle device already, on the right-hand side there's a button you can click to download a free e-reader app for your smartphone, tablet device, or your computer. It only takes a matter of seconds to download and install the app and complete the purchase of my book. And if you appreciate the value of the information I offer in my video newsletters, the articles on my website, and my ebook, you can show your appreciation by going to my website, and on the Wibia toolbar, which will be at the bottom of your screen, click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information. And I will talk to you soon.